Hey, what's up guys, Jack here, and today we're taking a look at the recent changes and updates for H1Z1. Also, I'm testing out a new codec and render settings for YouTube here. I'm trying to make something that's a bit more compliant with YouTube's compression system based off their recommendations on the website, so let me know if you think the quality is better or worse than my usual H1Z1 videos. So then, if you've been keeping tabs on the game or even your game library on Steam, you'll have noticed this week that the game has actually split into two different games. Battle Royale is now a standalone version called King of the Kill. I actually thought it was King of the Hill until I read it on Steam. And the vanilla survival mode is now called Just Survive. If you already owned the game previous to this change, then don't worry, you're not going to lose anything. You'll actually get both versions of the game in your library. However, if you haven't got hold of H1Z1 yet and you were thinking of it, each version will set you back $19.99. Is that a bit too much? I think maybe it is. Splitting the game up into two is a smart move in the long run because over time as the game evolved and developed, the survival mode of the game seemed to really dip. The initial early access game was built around this DayZ-esque survival mode, but in reality, with a pretty small map and a slow development plan and then the release of the BR mode, the original survival mode, at least in my opinion, died pretty fast. I played quite a bit of the survival mode when it first released and put out a few videos of it, but even with the added base building and the new features they slowly added in, it got pretty boring for me. Battle Royale, however, or King of the Kill as it's now called, I play it a lot and it's pretty addictive. Because of the split, the two games will have different development resources. It means that one team can work on cool base building features or survival based items, whereas the Battle Royale team could spend some time working on new game modes, new maps, and potentially awesome Battle Royale changes. That previously wouldn't have been possible apparently because they were both utilising the same game files. With that in mind, it now means that anything from the maps to the guns to the UI can all be independently changed without affecting the survival part of the game. Even still, unless Daybreak increase their studio numbers and employees, it's going to mean that the same amount of people who were working on the same part of the game are working on it as before, so I don't see it making development updates that much faster. But when updates and new content appear, they should be better and more interesting. The newly split King of the Kill version of the game will also be coming out of early access this summer and will finally be released as an official product, but only the King of the Kill game as the survival game is supposedly not ready just yet. Interestingly, it's also going to be coming out for Xbox One and PS4. I imagine both of the games are going to be pretty popular on consoles, although I hope they don't expect too much FPS in Pleasant Valley. They've actually said they're evaluating the possibility of cross-platform play, but I can say with reasonable certainty that that isn't going to happen. I think there's far too much of an advantage to be had in H1Z1 with the mouse and keyboard. In my opinion, it's best to keep the platforms separate. I'm also a little bit worried about the game coming to console because in all honesty the PC version is still full of bugs. The matchmaking lobby is still shoddy and often splits up your lobbies into different games or completely bugs you out of the game, and it still crashes from time to time. The game also has plenty of vehicle glitches, hit reg issues, and overall, while being a ton of fun, it's actually pretty poorly executed. It's been in early access now or alpha for over a year, and whilst improvements have been made, it doesn't feel like they've always been made in the right areas. Saying that though, there are some improvements to King of the Kill that also came with this update. The new crosshair system that's been tested now for a while has made an appearance, allowing you to customise your entire crosshair to your liking as well as changing the colour. A welcome addition in fact, and it's good to see it finally adopted. They actually feel like they're trying to make H1Z1 a more competitive game, but I think we are a pretty long way away from that in my opinion. There are some fixes to the jumping animations that should finally allow you to jump over items that it looks like you should be able to. No more catching your toes on those damn fences. The AK has also been nerfed a little bit as they felt it was too strong against the AR-15. Its damage has been reduced and its refire delay increased. As well as that, the motorcycle helmets will now absorb slightly more damage and Kevlar will break after 2 shots and not 3. Some new particle effects are in place as well as some loot fixes. After testing the new version of the game, I can confirm that picking up loot is now super fast and a lot better than it was before. Overall, splitting the games up into 2 is a very smart move, but I think H1Z1 has a long way to go to be considered a good game. It is a lot of fun though, and I personally play it a lot. It's addictive, and that certainly counts for something. And that's all for today, folks. Please let me know your thoughts down in the comments below, and also on the quality of the video. You should be watching it in 1080p and 60 FPS. As always, give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. That would be very kind of you. Give me a thumbs down if you didn't, and I'll see you in the next one.